has it been since you've gone to paradise? When was the last time you had a delicious steak like one at Seven Clans Land and Cattle? When was the last time you saw a great show? Come see us at Seven Clans Paradise. Play in the scary Spin to Win slot tournaments on Sundays in October. You could win up to $2,000 in cash. Seven Clans Paradise Casino. It's been too long.
Cowboy fans, skin cancer continues to be a growing epidemic, but Stillwater Dermatology Clinic is there for you. With locations in Stillwater and Ponca City, board-certified dermatologist Dr. Thomas Hall is available to help you with all your skincare needs. Dr. Hall treats acne, psoriasis, and all skin disorders, and also offers cosmetic and laser services. Call 405-533-DERM or visit stwderm.com today.
Stilly's got Pete 94.3. KSPI, Stillwater. It's Pete 94.3.
Welcome to Neal Patterson Stadium here in Stillwater, where tonight the Oklahoma State Cowgirls will take on the TCU Horned Frogs. The Horned Frogs ranked as high as number 25 on one of the polls, 11-4-2, 4-3-1 in the league. The Cowgirls 10-6-1, 2-5-1, and as we've talked about on the pregame show already, it's very simple. The Cowgirls have to win or tie tonight, regardless of what happens with Iowa State and Kansas State up in Ames, to go to the Big 12 Championship, which will be Sunday morning at 11:30 against either Baylor or West Virginia. Here's the starting lineups for TCU. They are coached by Eric Bell in his 7th season. Emily Alvarado is the goalkeeper. She's a sophomore out of El Paso, Texas. Yasmin Ryan is a midfielder, a sophomore out of Norman North. Cache Liu, a defender. She's a senior and a 3-year player out of Ontario, Canada. Shaylin Hubbard is a midfielder, a freshman out of Spring, Texas. The other starters are Kayla Hill, a midfielder, a senior, 5'4", senior, 4-year player out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Messiah Bright is a freshman forward for TCU. She's out of Dallas Cedar Hill High School. Mackenzie Oliver, also a senior, a forward, a 5'4", 3-year letter winner from Cedar Park, Texas, from Vista Ridge High School. Randy Peterson, a defender, a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. As I mentioned, she is a freshman. Tara Smith is a midfielder, a junior, out of Tulsa, out of Holland Hall High School, so a couple of Oklahoma players on the starting lineup. Kartas Thomasdottir is a senior. She's a midfielder and a 4-year player out of Iceland. And Maddie Warren is the other starter for Coach Bell, and she's a freshman, 5'8", out of Los Angeles, California. I mentioned Eric Bell in his 7th season, Ryan Higginbotham in his 7th year. Tom Serratori is his first-year coach, and he coaches the goalkeepers. He was a coach at Oregon before coming to TCU. Here's the lineup now for the Cowgirls, coached by Colin Carmichael, associate head coach Justin Elkington, assistant coach Karen Hancock, and assistant volunteer coach Michael O'Hare. Hannah Warner starts in goal tonight, the redshirt freshman out of Owasso. Kirsten Zaragoza at defense. She's a junior out of Rowlett, Texas. Grace Yoakum at midfield, a freshman out of Houston Memorial. Allie Jackson gets the start at midfield, a freshman out of Allen, Texas. Junior Julia Lenhart, a midfielder out of Frisco, Texas, another starter. Another junior, J.C. Jones at midfield. She'll play forward also tonight. She's out of Mustang, Oklahoma. Elise Hahn at defense, a 5'8" junior out of Melissa, Texas. Taylor Olson, another forward, a 5'4" sophomore out of San Antonio, Texas. Grace Neville starts in defense, a 5'7" freshman out of London, England. Claire Ganser, a 5'10" junior in defense out of Plano Senior High in Texas. And Kim Rodriguez is the other starter. She'll play defense and midfield tonight, a 5'6" sophomore out of Porter, Texas. Cowgirls are wearing the blackout uniforms tonight. That's those all-black uniforms with the black numbers outlined in white. And then TCU is in the white with the blue tonight, blue numbers and letters on the uniforms for the Horned Frogs. Our officials tonight are Dimitar Chadarov. He is the referee. Trent Van Haesma is the assistant referee on one side. Nardi Ajabi is the other official, and the alternate official at the table is Kevin Flynn. The weather tonight, not great, but it's perfect soccer weather, really. It's cloudy, a little light drizzle, although that's all but ended. 54 degrees and very little wind, if any, here at Neal Patterson Stadium as the teams are being introduced downstairs right now. We'll take another timeout. We'll have the kickoff coming up next. Cowgirls and TCU in a nearly must-win or tie situation to go to postseason. This is Cowgirl Soccer from Learfield.
Hi, Hi, I'm Tiffany Aranda. Right now, Stillwater home inventories are very low. We have home buyers looking to relocate into Stillwater, and they don't have much to choose from. We at Real Estate Professionals listen and will earn your trust and confidence to get the most value, and timing is to your advantage. If you have thought about selling your house, please call me at 405-714-1214 or visit stw-realestatepros.com. Real Estate Professionals are bringing buyers and sellers together professionally every day. Is today your day? Go folks.
Central Electric Cooperative would like to thank our members who have shown that hard work pays off by providing feedback in the recent ACSI survey. Your opinion has landed Central at the top of the utility industry average scores, and we thank you for that. Visit the Central website at www.mycentral.coop and learn the many ways Central is becoming the next generation utility. Also be sure to follow Central on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for My Central Co-op. Central Electric Cooperative is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
At Stillwater Medical Center, we're asking for more.
From our nurses
and our staff, we're devoting ourselves to providing unhurried and compassionate care.
Our mission is simple: to perfect the patient experience.
It's everything you expect from a major medical center,
with all the things that you love about a hometown hospital. Learn more about our mission at stillwatermedical.com.
What do over 300 children in Payne and Logan counties need? A safe and permanent home. You can help these children by becoming a CASA volunteer. CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocate and is dedicated to serving abused and neglected children. Volunteers meeting the requirements are professionally trained and supervised. You can make a difference. Lift up a child's voice, a child's life. Get involved at CASAforKids.com or call 405-624-2242.
Back here in Stillwater at Neal Patterson Stadium. Remind you that if you're listening on 94.3 Pete FM, you can also catch the game live tonight. Our audio is on stillwaterradio.net. Go up in the right-hand corner and click on Listen Live to either 780 or to 94.3, and you'll catch the audio that I'm doing right now. Or you can go to okstate.com and catch live video and audio feeds at okstate.com. Look under the live video tab, and you'll find this game tonight with our audio and the video live from here at the stadium. It's internet delayed, but you get the idea. And that's how some folks are watching tonight. And again, we have quite a few people here tonight for this final game of the regular season at home. The Orange Outlaws out there in the north end zone are busy with a big banner that says, "We love you." And they mean we love you, Cowgirls. And they're waving the flags out there right now, and they're ready to go. The Cowgirls will go from left to right, and they will defend the north goal with Hannah Warner in goal for Oklahoma State. Her numbers: 15 games, 700 minutes, 6 goals allowed, a .78 goals against average, 32 saves combined on 5 shutouts, and a 5-3 record on the year. TCU will go with white from our right to left. Emily Alvarado is their goalie, and she is played in 11 games and 965 minutes, 9 goals allowed, a .84 goals against average, 44 saves, and a 7-4 record. She's been in on 5 shutouts and has combined on another. TCU this season has tied SMU. They lost to Santa Clara, West Virginia, and Baylor in the league, and also at Kansas. Of course, the Cowgirls riding a 5-game winless streak at the moment of losses plus 1 tie to make it 6 total. And the game is underway as TCU, after the kickoff by Oklahoma State, tries to run the ball forward, and it goes out of bounds, and this is going to belong to the TCU Horned Frogs as they go again in white from our right to left. Throwing it in on the inbounds on the near sideline is Kayla Hill at midfield. They work very quickly, try to get it toward center as they work it ahead to Maddie Warren. She's their leading scorer with 6 goals on the year. Cowgirls clear it deep back the other way, try to find somebody to run it down. They do, and TCU will try to turn it and send it back the other way ahead of the Cowgirl offense. They send it to the far sideline over by the new scoreboard, and the Cowgirls have a throw-in. 4 minutes into the game, there is no score. Both teams have been on the attack once here in the first half of play. 45-minute running clocks, no timeouts except for penalty scores or injuries, no extra time in soccer. Here's a bouncer that comes to the keeper for TCU, ahead of 2 defenders and also 2 offensive players for Oklahoma State who are coming in. And it'll be a kick away here for the Horned Frogs, as again, They go from our right to left in the white uniforms here in the first minute 20 of the game. And balls around, and now Jones will run it ahead for the Cowgirls and gets pushed down from behind at about the 35-yard line, and that'll be a foul here on TCU. The officials tonight are in bright orange. Hopefully that's a nice omen for this game. Cowgirls are in black, TCU in the white uniform. There's a long shot by Rodriguez from about 35 out and straight on to the keeper, and the play is made by Alvarado. So she'll punt it away. She is a sophomore out of El Paso, Texas, out of Coronado High School. Ball's turned by TCU at the halfway line and played left to right to the forward end. Hubbard sends it down deep, looking for a man down the ground, and that'll be kicked out of bounds across the back line. That'll be a corner kick for TCU as it went off of Oklahoma State. TCU has had 126 corners. They've only allowed 45 corner kicks by their opponents this year. Oklahoma State's allowed 93 and has had 76 of their own. This corner will be to the left of Hannah Warner on the northeast corner of the field here. Be a right-footed strike as we wait for them to approach the ball. Ball was kicked into the 18 square, bounced out of there on a basically off the goalkeeper's hand. She punches it away. TCU runs it down far side, crosses it back into the box. A little deflection there off a heel kick. The Cowgirls kick it straight up in the air. It stays in the 18 box, and now TCU will clear it back out of the box and start their run over again. Coming in, a blast toward the center by Hubbard. It's cleared away by the Cowgirls. Now a play out front for Patterson. Over here to the near wing now to Ryan. She centers it into the square. Cowgirls have to run it down, clear it out. TCU with a header keeps it outside the 18 over here on the near sideline. They'll turn it, run it down with Thomas Dutter looking to go toward the back line, working it there to Ryan. Ryan into the centering area. Cowgirls will clear it away back where it came from over here on the near sideline. 3.5 minutes in, there is no score. Now a back line touch, and it's by TCU, so this will be a goal kick for Oklahoma State. TCU has outshot their opponents this year 288 to 151. They've outscored their opponents 30 to 14. Cowgirls have been outshot this year 255 to 246, but they've outscored their opponents 28-16. But lately, that's been the other way around as far as goals are concerned. Cowgirls have been shut out 4 times in this streak. Here's a ball to the sideline off of TCU across the way to the left of the halfway line, and the Cowgirls will throw it in from there. Just over 4 minutes into the first half, there is no score. TCU's had a couple of pushes. They just had one a moment ago. Now the Cowgirls try for a centering pass, and at the top of the 18, it's taken away by the Horned Frogs. Back on defense is Yasmin Ryan. Yasmin Ryan sends it ahead. Pinballs round off a couple of players. Cowgirls in open ground are able to take it. Trying to go left to right, get something going on offense. They kick it to the sideline. It's saved in by Neville. Now over here on the near side, touched by TCU, and they take it away from Olsen, and a good play for Ryan. Ryan, a deep kick, and Elise Hahn wearing those glow-in-the-dark green shoes tonight, brings it back the other way left to right into the halfway circle. Cowgirls are played off the ball there. A little push by Smith for TCU, no foul. Official may not have seen it. Cowgirls are run down a loose ball far sideline and start over. Ball's headed back by TCU. And on the dribble, Cowgirls trying to break it up on a sweep. But out in front, it's taken there by Oliver. Oliver sends it back on the far wing, and they'll start it over. Running up there is Hubbard for TCU. And it's played off a Cowgirl and then back out towards center mid where collision is there, and the ball is loose, and then a two-hopper by Maddie Warren from about 25 out straight onto the keeper is taken there by Hannah Warner. Warner's had to make a couple of plays on balls early here tonight in the first 6 minutes. Cowgirls a deep kick the other way. Wind's not a factor tonight. Out of bounds for Oklahoma State for a throw-in across the way. Just down the road from here, Stillwater and Putnam City are playing football tonight. We can see the lights of their stadium, and they can see ours here at Neal Patterson Stadium, both on the north side of town. Ball out of bounds deeper at about the 20, and a throw in here for Oklahoma State. This is to the right of their keeper, Alvarado. with 38:50 left in the first half. Ball delivered to the back line and kicked out of bounds. I think TCU with a touch, so a corner kick coming up here for Oklahoma State. This will be our first of the match. The Cowgirls were limited in the number of corner kicks they had in both games over the weekend. So the corner comes from the far side. Going to be Grace Yoakum who takes the corner. She sends a little dribbler toward the edge of the 6. Double team there. They send it back to Yoakum. She'll deliver a better ball into the 6-yard square, headed up in the air by TCU, knocked down by the Cowgirls. TCU a touch, though. They'll streak to the sideline, but it goes out of bounds. And Oklahoma State to the right of the bench of TCU here on the near sideline will have a throw-in. We played 7 minutes. There is no score. Throw in here by Oklahoma State. Jones trying to deliver it back over here to Neville. And they'll bounce it around, try to go back line. There's a cross in front. The chance and a save. No, it went in. It went past the keeper and a diving play to her right, but Oklahoma State is on the board. Cowgirls get a nice delivery into the box, and Oklahoma State has a 1-0 lead. This is the first time in a while the Cowgirls have led in a game. I'll credit the goal here in a moment. We'll watch the replay, but that was a nice delivery. And Grace Yoakum gets the goal for Oklahoma State. Yoakum with the delivery off the cross into the box. That'll be her 4th goal of the year. Watching the replay here now, it was a nice delivery. Centered, got past the defender, and also past the keeper on the lower left side. The Cowgirls score at 37-35, and quickly off the deliverance down the ground here of the ball, collision, and a Cowgirl player down. Cowgirls are already short at least 7 people for this game. A yellow card has been issued here to TCU, I believe, to Kayla Hill. Cowgirl player down is being helped up. It appears to be Julia Lenhart, and she appears to be all right. The Cowgirls will get a free kick, and Elise Hahn will take this ball at about the 30-yard line. Watching the replay here as she was sliding for the ball, just got taken off her feet. So play will continue here as the ball goes back the other way. And that was actually Grace Yoakum on the play a moment ago. The girl had just scored the goal. Cowgirls will play it forward at about the center mid area on offense. TCU has numbers, though, and will turn it back the other way. They go from right to left here in the first half. Looking for the equalizer as the Cowgirls have an early 1-0 lead here in the 8th minute. Ball sent up the far sideline, and playing it ahead is Hubbard. Sends it into a delivery area there for Messiah Bright. Bright, they bring it inside. Here's a chance for TCU, and a collision as the ball is knocked to the sideline. That'll be a throw-in coming up for TCU, and their player who came in on that side over there is up and okay. I think that was Hahn that she collided with over there. Clean play, and again, officials said play on, so a sideline throw-in at the 6 to the left of the keeper. Cowgirls try to intercept, and TCU touched it last over there off the throw-in, so it belongs to Oklahoma State. Inbounded by Ganser on the throw-in, tied along the far sideline. They kick it up toward the halfway line. TCU has numbers there, and the Cowgirls will go back and play defense. Over here on the near wing is Ryan. Pinballs off a player to Hill, now off another player. Cowgirls try to run it down. This is Yoakum again. She's all over the field and kicks it up the ground. It was deflected off TCU, so it's out of bounds to Oklahoma State. This will be a throw-in for the Cowgirls. 35-50 left in the first half. Oklahoma State with a 1-0 lead here on a goal by Yoakum, her 4th of the year. The ball delivered to the sideline, up the sideline, and then out of bounds. It'll be off TCU to our near sideline to our right here from the press box. And a throw in for Grace Neville. This is a similar spot to where they got the play a moment ago to score, but TCU intercepts this time, and it is Patterson who will take it the other way. Up the ground to Hubbard, who brings it across the halfway line left to right. Tries to get it to Bright, taken away by the Cowgirls. Now they'll start the run over again from their side of the halfway line. Ryan dribbles across the halfway line, going right to left. Looks to try to center it outside the 18 square. They play it back out of the square to Oliver. Oliver broken up by the Cowgirls, and a nice play. This time it was Julia Lenhart, and she ends up with the ball. We're 10 minutes into the game. Cowgirls are with a 1-0 lead here. Again, a win or tie, and they end up going to Kansas City. Here's a deep ball. It's going to run across the back line. It would go out before that, and TCU let it go out for a throw-in on the near sideline. Went out just before the flag here in the southwest corner of this north-south field here in Stillwater, the side of the old Cowgirl Soccer Complex, now Neal Patterson Stadium. We have a nice crowd here tonight for this one, given a wet night, Friday night. It's pop night at OSU with all the houses working on their floats for walk around and so forth. And we have high school football in town tonight, too. So crowd is what we can get here at OSU tonight. Here's Jones delivering the ball back the other way. Neville over here on the near wing. Delivers it back to Jones at the 30-yard line. Jones around a man shoots, and it's wide of the near post. That'll be a goal kick for TCU. Opponents have had to make 91 saves coming into tonight on shots by TCU. TCU 59. TCU 183 fouls to the opponent's 147. Oklahoma State numbers in that direction. Opponents 208. Cowgirls 162 on fouls. Saves 80 by opponents, 72 by OSU. Off the goal kick, TCU has the ball back at their end to our left here, and they come quickly down the ground. Far wing, this is Bright. Inside the 18, has a cross that's rebounded back out. She delivers it back into the square. It's delivered out by the Cowgirls. Now brought back in this time by Ryan from the left wing. Ryan with a man all over her. Good defense there by Yoakum. They'll have to start their run over again with Thomasdottir outside the 18. They'll go back over on the far wing to Hubbard. Hubbard looks to dribble around the man, does, gets turned around. Far side of the 18, left of the keeper. Not a good defense by Oklahoma State to take her off the ball, and they send it back the other way. They have to run it down at the halfway line, and now their defenders will play it back right to left into the forward end. That was good defense over there by Oklahoma State. And the ball delivered deep by TCU. They've got good team speed. They come in and end up getting the ball over here on the near wing. They look for the cross, can't get it. Bright's ball's delivered back outside the box by the Cowgirl defense, and TCU get a little frustrated there, starts over. Thomasdottir, and now they overrun the ball on a pass, and it's taken the other way by J.C. Jones. Cowgirls deliver it back at their offensive end to our right, but nobody's there but the TCU defense. And so Patterson will send it the other way for the Horned Frogs. The series with this club has been a very good one. Teams go back to prior to TCU joining the league. The first meeting was in 2009. They came in the league in 2012. Here's a deliverance deep, and Hahn kicks it up in the seats. And it bounces around, and it bounced off somebody down there in a railing and ended up back on the field. So that ball goes right back for the throw-in. Like a pinball. Thomasdottir into the center of the ground. Sends it ahead for Patterson. Work it around now to Hill. Now back out high to Thomasdottir, working back into the far side. Cowgirls have numbers and turn the ball and bring it back the other way. They go back across the halfway line with the dribble and send it deep toward the 18 square. It's a 3-on-1 plus the keeper, and the keeper able to make the play on the ball, Emily Alvarado. Back the other way comes Ryan up the near side. Delivers it to Hill at the halfway line for TCU. 1-0 Cowgirls here. 30:55 to go in the first half. A goal by Grace Yoakum, her third of the year, make it her fourth of the year. She'd been stuck on 3 for quite a while. Collision by the Cowgirls, played out by Oklahoma State back to the near side after Jones took a tumble, and she's all right. And here comes Oklahoma State on the attack. Ball's kicked out of bounds, though, by Patterson, a throw-in for Oklahoma State. Cowgirl bench is to the left of the halfway line on the near sideline, and TCU right below us on the right. And now foul from behind a push by Oklahoma State. They call that on Lenhart, and the ball belongs to TCU on a free kick. They've already sent it forward. Thomas Dotter into the center circle. They look to deliver it deep, but it's intercepted by Rodriguez. He's also wearing those glow-in-the-dark shoes, those green shoes. One way you can tell her and others out of a crowd that are wearing those tonight for Oklahoma State. Played forward to TCU at the halfway line, and they intercept, bring it down. Here's Thomas Dotter, open ground. Deliverance into the square, and sliding to make a cover on the ball is the goalkeeper, Hannah Warner, with the offensive player coming in on her for TCU. They had a defender back as well, but that offensive player over there, who was Mackenzie Oliver, one of their forwards, had a step on the defender, but Warner saw what was coming and just slid down like she was stealing second base and covered up the ball at first dive. A nice play by the redshirt freshman. Now the Cowgirls deliver it the other way, and too deep for Neville to do anything with it. And the goalkeeper will just take it away and bring it back up the ground. 29:15 to go before halftime. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead here in Stillwater. Not a real big crowd here, but they are noisy here in this first half, and they've had a little bit to cheer about with a 1-0 lead. Cowgirls in this recent run have not scored very many goals. Scored one against West Virginia, one against OU in the losses, and that's it in conference play besides the tie with Texas. 3 goals. Ball to the sideline and throw in. Discussion here about something first, though, as I believe they're going to set the ball for play to the back line. That's what it was, and so this will be a goal kick for Oklahoma State. Been outscored 9-3 on goals in conference play. TCU, meanwhile, in the conference play, has scored 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 goals and have given up a total of 8. Again, 4, 3, and 1 in the league. Halfway line, TCU takes that ball back, and they'll play it right to left into the forward end. 27:58 left in the half. 1-0 Cowgirls. Again, they have to win or tie to go to Kansas City. We'll have the early game for you Sunday at 11:30 a.m. That game, by the way, will be right here on 94.3 and on 7:80 a.m. on Sunday morning. Ball's delivered deep by the Cowgirls. Can't run it down. TCU wins the play and sends it back to the keeper as Patterson takes it back to Alvarado, and they'll start over. A couple of plays early here on shots for the Horned Frogs, but pretty much TCU has played uphill here since the goal about 8 minutes in. That was about 10 minutes ago on the clock. Neither team is subbed yet here in the first half. Cool night. The ball sent down the ground, but the keeper takes it there at the 18 line for the TCU Horned Frogs. Remember the Big 12 since 2012. And back into the fray they go on offense the other way. Ryan up the near sideline, right to left. Tries to send it deep toward the corner, and that's too strong and across the back line, trying to send it to Bright. It'll be a goal kick for Oklahoma State. So let's see what they do here as Hannah Warner will kick it away. In no wind, a good strong kick past the halfway line. A nice header by Thomas Dotter to send it the other way for TCU. Cowgirls with a high kick by Lenhart back to the halfway line. Header down there by Ryan to the sideline. It pinballs around. It goes off Oklahoma State. This will be a throw-in for TCU with 26 minutes left in the first half. The Cowgirls scoring on a goal by Yoakum at the 8-minute mark. Now ball played deep. This is Oliver looking to set up for the equalizer. There's a dribbler into the box. Chance for Warren was blocked away by Oklahoma State, sent back to the halfway line, and TCU will start over. Maddie Warren is their leading goal scorer with 6. Kayla Hill has 5, and then Ryan and Bright each have 4. All played to the far side of the 18. Pinballs around a couple of players. and it goes back for Oklahoma State the other way, but it's run down the halfway line by Ryan. It was actually Cachette Lou who ran that ball down to the sideline. It'll go off the Cowgirls, and across the way we'll have a throw-in for Oklahoma State, or actually for TCU. With 25-15 left in the first half. Game moving right along. Very few fouls, and the one score to stop the clock. TCU going right to left in the white uniforms. They look to set something up here. Thomas Dotter over here on the near wing trying to find player there. She found Hill for a moment. Cowgirls intercept, but Hill gets it back. Now they play to Thomas Dotter outside the circle to the left of the halfway line. Out of the far wing for Lou. Lou trying to send it to the corner, and the ball is out of bounds, and this will be a corner kick for TCU to the left of goalkeeper Hannah Warner. Now, earlier when they had a corner like this, she came out with a two-hand punch and punched the ball out of the 18 or out of the 6-yard square. We'll see how they deliver it into the square this time. Their second corner kick of the match, both from the same spot. TCU has to worry about being offsides here, or onside as the case may be. And here's the ball delivered, or will be in a moment. We've got an official stopping play here. I think they're asking let's see, they're talking to two of the Cowgirl players and a TCU player who are kind of getting snippy in the box here a little bit. Now, play will resume after official starts play. Here's the kick. Toward the top of the 6, headed down by Thomas Dotter, cleared toward the goal square, on the ground, blocked by the keeper. Second shot is missed. Third block is shot is blocked and deflected by the keeper. That was by Patterson, and it's cleared out past the halfway, or toward the halfway line, and then a strong kick from 30 out by Hubbard that clears the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick here for Oklahoma State. Hannah Warner had to make a couple of diving plays there as we're watching the replay. The first by Thomas Dotter was deflected down. Warner falls down to make a block. Second shot's deflected off of a Cowgirl player, and then Warner goes down and may have taken the ball straight off of her head as she went down to her left to make the diving save. She's okay, and now as she approached the ball, now what's going on here? I think the referee wants to check Warner and make sure she's okay because she keeps putting her hand up to her head. Cowgirls are already down a keeper tonight with Danny Greenlee not scheduled to play. And she had a concussion on Sunday. So our referee, Dimitar Chodorov, has asked if you're okay, and she says yes. And so play will resume here at 23-18 left in the half. Warner, a good strong kick, feeling no ill effects of that last series. And TCU tries to run it down at the halfway line, and Cowgirls will take it away from them. Up the near side is Grace Neville with the ball. And balls around, and then off of Lenhart, trying to keep it in play here along the near sideline. J.C. Jones to Neville, and open ground on the offensive end. Neville, a play that was blocked, a cross off the head, it looked like, of Ryan. Ball pinball back out for Jones. She'll center it to the top of the 18. Here's a chance for the Cowgirls. That shot is blocked, and that play was by Hubbard. Now a second chance over there on the wing. Cowgirls have another wingman, Ganser, who comes up. She centers it to the 18. It's cleared away again by TCU. Cowgirls look to keep it, and a nice play by Rodriguez to keep TCU from getting the ball. They would have had a 2-on-2 breakaway. A nice play there by Rodriguez. Now the Cowgirls deliver it back. Here's a cross in front of Chance, and it's cleared away again by the Horned Frogs from about the penalty kick spot. Rodriguez with a header off the delivery out toward the 18, but it's run down off the bounce by TCU by Hill, and the ball will go back to the Horned Frogs. We're past the halfway point here of the first half. At 21-51, the Cowgirls on a goal by Grace Yoakum in the 8th minute have a 1-0 lead here, something we're not used to in conference play. Cowgirls again have been outscored coming into tonight 9-3, now 9-4. Have to win or tie tonight to clinch a spot, keep Iowa State, regardless of what they do, doesn't matter at that point. If the Cowgirls lose and Iowa State wins, Iowa State owns the tiebreaker, and they would go to Kansas City. Cowgirls looking for the second goal here at 21:18 left in the half. A double team, and TCU takes the ball away and sends it back down the ground. They have an open man, but Rodriguez does a good job in kicking the ball up in the air. TCU player coming in on that ball was taken down on the play, but legally as she ran into Rodriguez, who'd already made the kick. So the Cowgirls run down the loose ball on the far sideline and take it away and go back left to right on offense. They have been much more the aggressor tonight than they were almost the entire game on Friday because they never had the ball. They got outshot 33-3 by West Virginia. Throw in for the Cowgirls here. Ball to the back line, and the cross hits the crossbar and off the keeper. That ball pinballs out to a defender for TCU, and they kick it out of bounds for another throw-in. That was Yoakum again, coming in from the defender, from the keeper's right side, the offensive left side. That ball clanged off the side of the post. Seeing the replay here now, I'm not sure that. Yeah, that ball hit the post. Cowgirls keep the possession. Now a chance on a centering pass. There's a shot, and it's wide of the far post. And that play there by Oklahoma State. That was Yoakum again about the 30-yard line. I have some numbers for you here at the first half. And here's Haley Woodard, who, again, we told you is suited up tonight. And they have a new player in the game as well. This is Danielle Yulee is into the game for the first time. They call it Danielle Eiley. That's the way you say her name. Eiley is a senior out of Lutz, Florida, transferred from East Carolina. Haley Woodard's first action in a couple of weeks after being hurt. A game a couple of weeks ago down at Baylor. Back in after a calf injury and now played deep by the TCU, and it goes off of Oklahoma State on the sideline here on the throw-in coming up for Ryan. Of course, we know about Haley Woodard, the senior from Norman North. Back to action here as TCU trying to play it forward. They send it back toward the halfway line here. It's 1-0 Cowgirls with 18:30 to go in the half, and we'll give you some numbers here when we get a chance. Here's a centering pass in the square that's blocked away from Bright. A nice play by the Cowgirls defense to run it down. Lenhart out off the outlet, brings it back the other way, sets up Neville. Now here's Haley Woodard. Woodard delivers a centering pass outside the 18, but it's right to a TCU player, and they'll run it back the other way. Deep ball here. The Cowgirls will not be able to run that down, I don't think. TCU will just kick it back to their keeper, and they'll start over. Shots are 4-2 TCU. TCU with 2 corners to 1 for the Cowgirls. Yoakum's goal are fourth from Olsen and Lenhart at 7:24. They both get an assist. Cowgirls have made 2 saves to TCU's none. The fouls are 2-1 TCU. Shots are 4-2 on goal for TCU, 2-1 on goal for the Cowgirls, and that was the goal by Grace Yoakum. Ball again back to the halfway line and played all the way back to Alvarado, who will send it up the far sideline for TCU. Scores of other games, 30th minute, Baylor leading OU 1-0. West Virginia in the 72nd minute, scoreless with Kansas. K-State, Iowa State scoreless in the 26th minute in Ames. Texas and Texas Tech in the 32nd minute are scoreless in that matchup. Final games of the Big 12 regular season, all tonight. Here's TCU, a nice deliverance out top of the 18. Chance there for Warren, who was coming in, and ball was blocked by the Cowgirl defender. Looked like it was Rodriguez from the backside. Now back to the halfway line. Jones trying to run it down, the ball to the sideline, and the official says it's off of TCU, so it's a Cowgirl throw-in with 16:40 left in the first half. Waiting for the play to happen here at the halfway line on the near sideline. Play by Yoakum to head it off the inbounds to Woodard, and I think Yoakum got up and into the player who had just come in, Eiley, a few moments ago, and the ball belongs to TCU on a foul. Yoakum's goal, her fourth of the year at 7:24, the official time on that. And back the other way comes TCU again looking for the equalizer. Patterson tries to center it, intercepted by the Cowgirls. And player falls down, and we get a foul here on TCU as Cowgirl player was fouled at about the 30. That appeared to be Lenhart. She's limping a little bit, but I think she'll be able to walk that off. Cowgirls have to be feeling pretty good about themselves here. And again, keep in mind that on this streak of a tie and all the losses, they haven't been blown out of any game. Not one. That's a credit to the Cowgirl defense. And there's a foul, and that's going to be on TCU, as looked like they might have got into Yoakum a little bit there. Already had one yellow card in the game on TCU. This kick will be to the right of the center circle, about 15, 20 yards to the right of the halfway line, straight on to the keeper here. We're watching the replay on the foul, and clearly Yoakum took an arm upside the head. He's okay. Here's Rodriguez delivering the ball into the square. A chance for the Cowgirls. It bounces away from the OSU player who touches it, and it goes across the back line for a goal kick. I think that was Lenhart who was coming in from the backside on that play. So he had a chance, had a step on her defender, but the ball, as it hit the ground, kind of spun away from her a little bit. Didn't get a chance to go inside. The ball came outside, and then her touch went across the back line. Now out of bounds to the Cowgirls here on the near sideline on a throw-in off the leg of Eiley with 14:20 left in the first half. TCU just kicks it out of bounds again, and a throw-in coming up here for Oklahoma State. They're going to sub in here a new player in just a moment. Right now the Cowgirls off the throw-in. Jones in double-team traffic gets it to Woodard. Over here at Yoakum looking to center it ahead to Jones. Jones a step on her man, but TCU a backside intercept by Lou. Cowgirls with numbers at the halfway line. Here comes player down the ground. This is Ganser. Now pinball's off of her. Now off another Cowgirl, and TCU will get a throw-in with 13:40 left to go here in the first half. The sub for TCU is Tyler Christensen. She's a sophomore, 5'10" player out of Hamilton, New Zealand. They have players from various parts of the world on this roster, and from Canada as well as from New Zealand, as I mentioned, and Iceland. She'll come in for Maddie Warren, their top scorer, who goes out. A lot of the girls wearing long sleeves here tonight on a 50-degree night in Stillwater. Many, however, are not for both teams. 13:10 to go before halftime. The Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead, a winner tie. They're in the Big 12. Here's a ball down the near sideline. Ryan looks to try to center it on a touch to Bright. Gets it back, a header in front of a player there who just checked in, Christensen. The Cowgirls clear the ball back to the halfway line. Chance there for a moment, but Yoakum, actually that was going to be Woodard couldn't run it down. Now TCU the other way, bring it up the far sideline. It's Christensen looking for the center. It's cleared to the sideline, and the Cowgirls will see TCU throw it in here with 12.5 to play in the first half. Again, we'll have scores of all the other games throughout the night. The score we're watching is Iowa State and Kansas State up in Ames. If Iowa State wins and the Cowgirls lose, then Iowa State will go to the tournament. If both teams lose, Cowgirls are in. If both teams tie, the Cowgirls are in. If Cowgirls win and Iowa State wins, then the Cowgirls are in. Only one real scenario in which Iowa State wins and Cowgirls lose, they would go to the Big 12 tournament because there's a full game plus the points separating the two teams. Under 12 to play now in the first half. 1-0 lead as TCU has been trying since the 8th minute for the equalizer. Here's a blast and a one-hopper straight to the keeper in the 6-yard box. That was off the leg of Christensen for Hannah Warner. So her kick will be punted all the way past the halfway line. Cowgirls had a touch. No, Rodriguez loses the ball. Here comes TCU. They have a 3-on-4. Now the Cowgirls come back, and TCU passes the ball outside of the top of the 18. Try to send it back down the near side. Ryan, that ball deflected to the sideline. And a sideline throw in here at about the 6-yard line. Below us to our left here. Callan Woffrey is checked into the game for TCU. She is a defender, a senior out of Lino Lakes, Minnesota. She transferred out of High Point University to TCU. Waiting now for their throw in here. Comes to this side of the 18, cleared away by the Cowgirls, and then Yoakum sends it back to the halfway line where Haley Woodard is waiting. Woodard immediately picks up double team pressure, still not past the halfway line. Jones to Yoakum here off the near sideline, and it's kicked out of bounds by Ryan. So with 10:20 left in the half, the Cowgirls will throw it in right below us here. This will be inbounded for Oklahoma State by Grace Neville, a lady out of England. Quality minutes for her this year, and once again, TCU deflects a kick out of bounds and a Cowgirl throw-in. And you can catch audio and video of this game at OKState.com live right now, and then also on our website, StillwaterRadio.net, you can catch the audio. There's a header, but Yoakum thought TCU touched it last. It'll be their ball to the sideline right in front of their bench. As we're under 10 to play now here in the first half. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead. Yoakum's goal in the 8th minute, 7:24. Sideline throw in now for the Cowgirls as it goes off TCU. At halftime, we'll kind of update you on everything and also look at the national rankings and RPI and things of that nature. Because again, a win, especially a win, but a tie tonight for Oklahoma State. RPI is good enough to get to the tournament. Here's Thomas Daughter, steals from the halfway line. She shoots top of the 18. It's blocked there by Oklahoma State, by Lenhart. Now down the ground, TCU off a rebound. The Cowgirls clear it back to the halfway line where Lou is waiting. Sends it over on the far wing to Hubbard. Cross from way out, and it just comes to the top of the 6, and it's caught in the air by Hannah Warner. As the clock goes under 9 minutes left to play here before halftime. So Warner will punt it away. A strong high kick past the halfway line. TCU player falls down. Eiley, there is no foul, and so she gets up kind of shaking out the cobwebs, and the Cowgirls go back the other way. Touch there by Woodard, and again, keep in mind, she hasn't practiced much in 2 weeks, so she'll be a little rusty here to start with. Get her sea legs back under her. TCU trying to go on offense, but the Cowgirls have a touch and bring it back the other way and send it down the ground for Woodard. TCU is in front of the ball, though, and they take it back. That was a nice header by Lou to send it back to Ryan. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Over on the far side, Hubbard at the halfway line for TCU, going right to left in the white uniforms. Looking for the equalizer as the Cowgirls have a 1-0 lead here in Stillwater. A nice deliverance from Lenhart and Olsen into the square for Yoakum to get the goal past the keeper in the lower left side. TCU just playing with it between the 30s here, trying to get it deep into the Cowgirl defensive side. Pinballs around again. Oklahoma State unable to clear. TCU keeps it in the zone, and now they can't control it, and the Cowgirls have a throw-in across the way. Sub here for Oklahoma State, as we will see Hannah Webb check in for the first time. She'd gotten hurt in that game against Baylor as well, and Rachel Van Fossen checks in for the Cowgirls. So 2 of the starters are back, at least off the bench for tonight anyway. Webb, of course, a sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas, and Van Fossen, the senior out of Broken Arrow, who went to high school at Tulsa Union, played at Arkansas before coming here. 7 minutes left in the first half, and the Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead here in Stillwater. Can they hold on and get the victory? Second half action coming up here in a little bit, but right now, the final 7 minutes of this half. Touch here on the near sideline for the Cowgirls, as Hahn will play it to the sideline. That'll be a throw-in for TCU. Taken there on a throw-in by Ryan along the near sideline. Bright looking to center it. Good pass outside the 18 to Hill. Hill delivers it to the far wing, and that's Hubbard coming over there. 1v1 there with a Cowgirl as they set it back for play. This is Lou who comes up the far side. Now over on the far wing, they'll give it to Loffrey. Loffrey looks to try to center it. Out top again, this is Bright. Can't turn it. Goes back to the corner. There's a cross. And on the edge of the 6, it's taken by the keeper. To her left, Warner had the play right in front of her all the time, and she was able to make the deliverance on the ball and kick it away now on a punt, way past the halfway line. Let's see if Woodard can run this down. Haley does. Put a defender there in front. Cowgirls have another man down there, but again, a clearance by TCU. And so they go back to the far sideline and start over with 5.5 to go here before halftime. TCU, an intercept by Oklahoma State. Now a sliding tackle by Yoakum. Pass to Woodard, and too strong. Knocked away there by the TCU defender, and back to the sideline for another Cowgirl throw-in at about the 25-yard line. This will drop under 5 minutes left in the half here as Andrew will throw it in. It's at the Woodard, tied along the far sideline in front of the big video board. TCU just kicks it out of bounds, and they're going to say it's a Cowgirl throw-in. Under 5 to play now in the half. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead. Ganser looks to deliver it into the square. Header by TCU out of the box. Another one by TCU to knock it down, and then Thomas Daughter clears it to the halfway line, where Rodriguez sends it back the other way for the Cowgirls. Now TCU a ball to the halfway line. They look to turn it and go back on offense, and they do. Oliver gives it to Bright over here on the near wing to Ryan. Taken there by Hill. Past the halfway line. Now they play it back to the circle. And this is Eiley who plays it over to the far wing. But again, TCU cannot control passing-wise out in the 30s. They've kind of been their own worst enemy here. And the Cowgirls will have a throw-in with 4:15 left in the half and a 1-0 lead for Oklahoma State. Again, a win or tie. They're in the Big 12 tournament as the 8th seed on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. in Kansas City. We'll be there right here where you're hearing the game right now to catch the action Sunday morning starting at 11:15. And Cowgirl player falls down. We get a foul, a push in the back here on Christensen at the offensive end for TCU, and the Cowgirls with a quick free kick. Then Rodriguez sends it 50 yards the other way, and Haley Woodard run it down with a defender. She does. Maybe got away with a push over there on the far wing. Shoots, and the ball's deflected from the post to the back line by the keeper, who was standing there to make the deflection. Cowgirls will get a corner kick out of this to the right of Alvarado with 3:15 left in the half. That was a wicked low-line drive right off the ground by Haley Woodard. So Woodard and Webb indeed available for tonight's game. Casey Jones, the corner, right of the keeper, into the 6-yard square. The ball is over everybody's head. TCU will try to run it down over here on the near sideline with 2:50 left to go in the half. Keep in mind, this is an important game for TCU based on the conference standings as well. And we'll get into a little bit of that coming up here at halftime. Thomas Daughter up the near side from Bright toward the edge of the 18. Plays it back to Ryan. They'll start the offense over again with 2:25 left in the first half. OSU with a 1-0 lead here in Stillwater. Hill over to the far side, intercepted by the Cowgirls. And it's kicked out of bounds by Ganser to the far sideline, and they deflect it. No, TCU on the throw-in. As we're 2 minutes left in the first half, they'd like to get the equalizer here before halftime. Touched by the Cowgirls off the throw-in, and an 18-yard line throw-in on the far sideline for TCU here with 1:55 left in the half. The throw-in to the left of the keeper, Hannah Warner. TCU looking to see what they're going to do. They get it back out to Hubbard. They look for a centering play in the square, intercepted by the Cowgirls, who sweep it away from trouble. But TCU is there to take an errant pass, and now Ryan kind of starts to play over again. The Cowgirls break it up, and send it back to the halfway line with 1.5 minutes left in the first half. Thomas Daughter runs it down to Ryan. Ryan over there to Hubbard, still at about the 30-yard line, and there's where J.C. Jones will send it up the ground. Too strong for Woodard and across the sideline for a throw-in. TCU will have 1.10 minutes left in the half when they throw it in, and I'm telling the player to back up a little bit here, so throwing it in about the 25-yard line of TCU. 1 minute left in the half. They're going to try to get it out of their own zone here. Cross to the far side, the halfway line to Lou. She gets it up the ground to Ryan, who works around one man, but not the other, who sends it back the other way for Oklahoma State. But it goes out of bounds with 40 seconds left in the half. And this will be a throw-in for TCU at the halfway line. So maybe one more chance here for the Horned Frogs before halftime. 30 seconds left. Headed by the Cowgirls out of bounds. Another throw-in for TCU. 25 seconds left in the half. Been a good first half of soccer for Oklahoma State, plus the score. Kind of puts the cherry on top for the moment. Here's Ryan coming in. Top of the 18, 11 seconds left in the half. Over on the far wing is Hubbard. They got to get across. It's blocked and out of bounds by the Cowgirls. That's going to take us to halftime. Good play by the defense over there for Oklahoma State. And at the half, the Cowgirls, a 1-0 leader here at home against TCU, and a winner tie puts them in the Big 12 tournament. Coming up the second half, but first halftime, and that's next. This is Cowgirl Soccer from Learfield.
Fuzzy's Taco Shop on the Strip in Stillwater is the official home of the Coach Colin Carmichael Show. Join us every Tuesday this fall to meet Coach Carmichael and discuss all things Cowgirl Soccer as they fight for the Big 12 title. All game days start at Fuzzy's with its casual, fun atmosphere, Baja-style Mexican food, and ice-cold beer on the patio. Feed your addiction at Fuzzy's, proud sponsor of Cowgirl Soccer. Be sure to like us on Facebook and download our app for awesome deals.
Debbie at Charlie's Discount Drug. Did you know that a prescription is not required to shop at Charlie's Discount Drug? We have an ever-growing gift selection, including gifts for him, her, and the kids. We also have a wide variety of popping candy. There's no prescription required to shop at Charlie's Discount Drug, 723 South Walnut in Stillwater.
Charlie's Discount Drug, where we know our customers by name.
Pregnancy can be an exciting time in your life and an anxious one. At Mercy, helping you get ready for a healthy, happy baby is our life's work. Download our free Baby on the Way guide at mercy.net/OSUbaby. It includes month-by-month plans for prenatal care, home safety, choosing your baby's doctor, and more. Download your free Baby on the Way guide at mercy.net/OSUbaby and know that Mercy is with you every baby step of the way.
Cowboy fans, stop by Chris's University Spirit today to sign up for the Orange and Black Spirit Club for only $40. You'll receive a membership club shirt and a 20% off card good on items for 1 year from purchase. All you have to do is stop in at 244 South Knobloch on Campus Corner in Stillwater before it's too late. Also visit us online at chrisuniversityspirit.com today.
Neal Patterson Stadium here in Stillwater, Oklahoma State, with a rare event at halftime of a conference game. They're up 1-0 here at the break. And at the intermission, the only goal by Grace Yoakum for Oklahoma State at 7:24. Cowgirls have been outscored 9-4 in conference games this year. It was 9-3 before tonight, though, and Yoakum's goal at 7:24. Shot to the near post from 8 yards out. Julia Lenhart, Taylor Olson with the assist. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead here at halftime. Neither team was called for offsides in the first half. We had one yellow card, and that was on Kayla Hill. And it was right after the goal. He had knocked Yoakum down at the other end of the field, and she got a yellow card 10 seconds after the goal was scored. The overall numbers, Cowgirls were outshot by TCU 6-4. 3 of those shots on goal for TCU, 2 for Oklahoma State. Corner kicks were even at 2. The fouls were 5-2 in favor of TCU, and the Cowgirl keeper Hannah Warner made 3 saves. TCU's goalkeeper Emily Alvarado had 1 save in the first half. As I mentioned, neither team was offsides. So 6 shots, 3 on goal for TCU. Individual numbers for them: Kayla Hill with a shot and a shot on goal. Randy Peterson with a shot. Tara Smith with a shot. Thomas Daughter with a shot. Maddie Warren with a shot and a shot on goal early in the match. And then Tala Christensen with a shot and a shot on goal, and she played 14 minutes in the first half. They only subbed out 3 players. And so did Oklahoma State. In fact, most of their starters came in and played the first half, played it in total. Haley Woodard came off the bench, played for 20 minutes. Hannah Webb came in, played for 8 minutes in the first half, and Rachel Van Fossen was the other sub. Woodard had a shot and a shot on goal that went just wide of the post about 10 minutes or so after she came in. Grace Yoakum with a shot on goal, and the 1 goal of the match. Allie Jackson with a shot. Lenhart and Olsen each with an assist on the goal by Yoakum, and J.C. Jones with a shot as well. So again, 4 shots, 2 on goal for the Cowgirls, 6 shots, 3 on goal for TCU. And it is a 1-0 Cowgirl lead here at the intermission. Again, a win or tie by Oklahoma State. And the Cowgirls go to the Big 12 tournament as the number 8 seed to Kansas City and get the early game on Sunday morning. Back with more after a timeout from here at Neal Patterson Stadium in Stillwater. This is Cowgirl Soccer from Learfield.
CBD Plus USA, now in Stillwater, is here to provide safe, all-natural relief. CBD is the 100% legal medical element of the hemp plant that is helping millions around the world find relief from numerous conditions. Our farm-to-table approach ensures we know what's in our products and that they're made right here in America. Studies show that the use of CBD can relieve symptoms of chronic pain and dependency to prescription medication. Visit our location in Stillwater behind Texas Roadhouse and we'll give you half off your first product. CBD Plus USA, exclusive retailer of Colorado Cures.
You deserve quality health care.
But at Stillwater Medical Center, we believe you also deserve an unmatched patient experience that's close to home.
That's why our physicians, nurses, and staff are committed to providing compassionate, quality care.
Right here in Stillwater.
We're here to prove that the best patient experience is moments, not miles away.
Learn more about our commitment to excellence at stillwatermedical.com.
Are you tired of calling your pharmacy to see if your prescriptions are ready? At Charlie's Discount Drug, our customers can receive a text message, an email, or even a phone call from one of our staff informing them when their prescriptions are ready. Call Charlie's Discount Drug at 624-3535 for more information or sign up today at 723 South Walnut in Stillwater.
Charlie's Discount Drug, where we know our customers by name.
How long has it been since you've gone to paradise? When was the last time you had a delicious steak like one at 7 Clans Land and Cattle? When was the last time you saw a great show? Come see us at 7 Clans Paradise.
Play in the scary Spin to Win slot tournaments on Sundays in October. You could win up to $2,000 in cash.
7 Clans Paradise Casino. It's been too long.
Stilly's got Pete 94.3. KSBI, Stillwater. It's Pete 94.3.
Halftime here in Stillwater at Neal Patterson Stadium. Scores of other games. TCU here trailing Oklahoma State 1-0. Baylor led OU toward the half, 1-0, that game in Norman. West Virginia and Kansas, that game is over. Don't have a final score on that yet. We'll try to get that for you. It was 0-0. Headed toward overtime earlier in the first half of our game. Texas Tech was 0-0. That game was approaching halftime. And Kansas State and Iowa State, the other score we're watching, also scoreless. That game headed toward halftime up in Ames. And again, if Cowgirls can't hold this lead and end up losing here to TCU and Iowa State were to win, that would be the scenario in which the Cowgirls would find themselves on the outside looking in. One thing about this first half, we're talking about their goalkeeper, Emily Alvarado, and pregame, also talking about her during the course of the game. TCU has shut out their opponents 9 times this year, so the score off them is big. As Alvarado ranks 3rd in the Big 12 with an 830 saves average. So it tells you something about this TCU team. And again, the other thing that gets your attention about TCU, they have the best record in the league as far as most games unscored upon, or untied Well, I'll try it again. Undefeated. There we go. 2 wins and a tie against top 25 opponents. Now, Tech has a 1-0 record, but the best record is that of TCU's 2-0-1 against the top 25. So this is a quality team. We'll see what adjustments they make coming up here at halftime. Right now, it's Baylor and West Virginia are both 7-1. They both win, both tie, or both lose tonight. Then Baylor is champion of the league. They're co-champions by record and by points if they end up both being, say, 8-1 or 7-2 or 7-1-1. But Baylor owns the tiebreaker. And so if the Cowgirls were to win, that would be Oklahoma State's opponent. They would get Baylor, a team that they played in Waco here, a couple of weeks ago. And lost, but only by a 1-0 score. That was a game in which Haley Woodard and Anna Webb got hurt. I guess that was 2 weeks ago. And you would see them in round 1 of the Big 12. That'd be a rematch of last year's semifinal in which Baylor beat Oklahoma State to go on to the finals and, in fact, win the postseason conference championship. Right now, Texas 5-2-1. TCU's right behind them at 4-3-1. And the TCU beat Texas. So should they end up tied, it would be a tiebreaker for TCU. They could finish as high as 3rd. They could also finish as low as 5th. Tech is next at 4-3-1, also with TCU. If you're wondering about that, TCU owns the tiebreaker with them, too. Then Kansas 4-4. Oklahoma is 3-4-1. Oklahoma State coming into tonight 2-5-1 in the league. Iowa State a game behind. But again, should the teams tie, they own the tiebreaker with the win on Sunday. And then K-State has not won a conference game at 0-8. If you're wondering about RPI, Baylor is number 4 in the country in the RPI. Stanford's number 1. Texas number 9. West Virginia number 12. And Arkansas, out of the Big 12 in the area, though, is number 25. TCU is number 23 in the league. The Cowgirls RPI, by the way, coming into tonight was 40. Kansas at 30 and Tech at 41. So if you can beat this TCU team, you not only gain the win that puts you in the Big 12 tournament and also probably, I say probably, is a good shot of you being in the NCAA tournament. You're one of the bubble teams, that's for sure. Go win a game in the tournament up in Kansas City, you're in for sure with 12 wins. And you're sitting right now with a very good RPI, which would jump into the 30s with a win here tonight. So there you go. The rankings around the country, the coaches poll has Stanford, USC, North Carolina, Georgetown, Duke, then Santa Clara, Vanderbilt, UCLA, Florida State, and Baylor's number 10. And the second 10, Virginia, then Tennessee, then West Virginia, 13, South Carolina, A&M, Penn State, Texas, number 17, South Florida, Boston College, and then Colorado. They just lost their first game here recently, 13-1-3. They're ranked number 20. And Rutgers, Memphis, Wisconsin, Princeton, and Pepperdine. Stanford is number 1 in the other 2 polls as well. Texas, 12th in both polls. West Virginia is 11th. Baylor 10th in Soccer America. West Virginia is 19th. Baylor is 17th in Top Drawer Soccer. Give you an idea about regional teams. Arkansas 24 in Soccer America, 22 in Top Drawer Soccer. Arkansas did not make the top 25 in the coaches poll. Another team in the region, North Texas, is 24. They've only lost 1 game. They're 12-1-2. And a sometimes non-conference opponent of Oklahoma State. And TCU's ranked 25th in Top Drawer Soccer. In the Midwest region, Baylor, West Virginia, Texas, TCU, Tech, Kansas, and then Oklahoma State. Then Central Arkansas, Bowling Green State, and Oklahoma in the Midwest region. Again, that Midwest region takes in teams from Florida all the way up the East Coast and all the way back to the central part of the country. Again, games tonight around the country. All the teams in the Big 12 are wrapping up the regular season. And we'll have finals hopefully on all of those games coming up on our post-game show, which is coming up after this game ends. So again, it's a big game not only for Oklahoma State, but also for TCU. They can finish as high as 3rd with a win here tonight, depending on what other people do. Cowgirls with a win would face either Baylor or West Virginia in the first round of the Big 12 championship 1 plays 8 at 11:30. That would be our game right here on 94.3. And since the day game, it's also on 780. KSPI AM would also be on OKState.com and would also be on StillwaterRadio.net. We are streaming now on those two stations. The 4 team plays the 5th seed coming up at 2. This is on Sunday up in Kansas City, the Big 12 Soccer quarterfinals at Slope Soccer Village. Number 2 plays number 7 at 5:30. Number 3 plays number 6 at 8. Go to the Big 12 website, get tickets and other information at that location. Teams are coming back out onto the ground, and in the second half, it'll be Oklahoma State leading 1-0 when we start it up after a timeout. This is Cowgirl Soccer from Learfield.
It's probably good that you can't see them in your house. You know, those common organic pollutants that the EPA says make your indoor air up to 5 times dirtier than the air you breathe outside? With an Infinity Air Purifier from Carrier, it won't just filter your air, it will capture and kill up to 99% of airborne viruses, molds, bacteria, and allergens so that you can breathe cleaner air. To learn more about Carrier's Infinity Air Purifier, turn to the experts, B&L Heating and Air Conditioning, online at bnlheatandcool.com.
Kubota tractors and Kubota utility vehicles could have been painted any color, but they chose orange. Why orange? Perhaps for the same reason you support the Cowboys. Orange power, the ability to never say die, never give up. Like the Pokes, overcoming a fourth quarter deficit to win a big game. Kubota tractors and utility vehicles can't be beat. Make that short drive to Kingfisher today, where 4 generations of the Johnson family have been helping customers save money.
When you walk through a hospital's doors, you have high expectations.
At Stillwater Medical Center, our physicians, nurses, and staff understand.
And we're ready to accommodate you.
Our team provides the personal care you expect from a hometown hospital.
And supports it with cutting-edge medical technology.
It's the patient experience perfected.
Learn more about our mission at stillwatermedical.com.
What do over 300 children in Payne and Logan counties need? A safe and permanent home. You can help these children by becoming a CASA volunteer. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate and is dedicated to serving abused and neglected children. Volunteers meeting the requirements are professionally trained and supervised. You can make a difference. Lift up a child's voice, a child's life. Get involved at CASAforKids.com or call 405-624-2242.
Back in Stillwater at Neal Patterson Stadium, both teams coming back out for their warm-ups, which won't take very long, and Oklahoma State will be going from right to left here in the second half with Hannah Warner in goal, and Emily Alvarado for Texas Christian will defend the north goal, and she will go from our left to right here in our second half of action here this evening as the Cowgirls have a 1-0 lead. If you've just joined us, Grace Yoakum in the 8th minute, scoring on a cross from Julia Lenhart and Taylor Olson. Shot to the post 8 yards out, far side, and it's a 1-0 lead here for Oklahoma State. And the Cowgirls have only scored 4 goals in conference play. They scored 1 against Texas, 1 against Oklahoma, 1 against West Virginia, and 1 tonight. And the other 2 goals in conference play were the Kansas game, which was the win at Kansas back on September 23rd. How about in this streak here? Overall in conference play, Cowgirls have scored 6 goals now to the opponent's 10. Talking about earlier just in the streak, but yeah, 6-10 overall. Cowgirls with a conference record at the moment of 2-8-1. Make that 2-5-1. Cowgirls wear the black uniforms going from our right to left. TCU in the white, and they'll try to make some adjustments here at the half and try to get the equalizer as fast as they can here. So both teams are coming out with their starters here in the second half. Mentioned Alvarado in goal, Ryan, Lou, Hubbard, Hill, Bright, Oliver, Peterson, Smith, Thomas Daughter, and Warren. For TCU, for the Cowgirls, Warner in goal, Saragusa, Yoakum, Jackson, Lenhart, Jones, Hahn, Olson, Neville, and Ganser, and Rodriguez. And Haley Woodard played in the first half. She might be out there for the second half now that I take a look at it. And she is going to start the second half for Oklahoma State. Woodard will start up front for the Cowgirls instead of Olsen. That's the change. So getting ready to start the second half. TCU will have the kickoff, and we're underway. Final 45 in regulation at home this year as far as the regular season is concerned. Cowgirls would have to do some work at the NCAA tournament to get back here again on the regular season if they get to the tournament. Thomas Dotter along the near sideline, a double team, and it's out for Oklahoma State on a throw-in. Grace Yoakum right here below us, who has the goal from Houston. Cowgirls look to play it off a deliverance out of the halfway area. Lenhart sends it forward. Casey Jones, a sliding tackle, and play on, says the official, as TCU turns it. And Ryan goes left to right into the forward end. Maddie Warren up the near sideline, taken there by Ganser. Ganser has that wrap on that left knee. She's battled a sore wrist and arm and a knee all year, but she's played through it. She's played as many minutes as anybody. Now, down the ground, here is a chance for the Cowgirls, and it is taken in there by Oklahoma State, by Haley Woodard, and it's off the back line for a corner kick for Oklahoma State. This will be their third of the match. First here in the second half to the right of their keeper, Emily Almiredo. J.C. Jones, who takes the corner. And this will be to the right of the keeper at the north end zone. Into the 6-yard square, headed out by a defender for TCU. They're back outside where the Cowgirls deliver it back in the square and right to the keeper, who dives to her knees to make the play. Alvarado with the chance there on the ball and took it just inside the 6-yard line. They'll send it back the other way, and TCU trying to turn it. Cowgirls have been better to the ball tonight, I think, than they have been in recent games. Now here's Woodard with a touch, giving it on the far wing. Again, the Cowgirls are offsides as Woodard came in down the center of the ground and took a shot that went wide of the post, but our sideline official, Nardi Amchi, puts up the flag, and the Cowgirls are called for offsides. Cowgirls on the season offensively, and they're going to throw tonight's numbers in there. 29 goals, 250 shot attempts. That's about 1.7 goals per game. TCU, to give you an idea, 30 goals, 302 attempts now, and a 1.7 goals per average per game. Goals average per game. They turn it and bring it back this way. Up the middle of the ground, Maddie Warren. They look to deliver it back into the square. TCU has a man there. Now a touch trying to get it to Warren. There's a shot and a line drive from the top of the 18. Grabbed at about head high by Hannah Warner. See who took that shot down there. It appeared to be Kayla Hill, and that's who it was. Hill, their second leading scorer with 5 goals, no assists. Warren with 6 goals and 3 assists for 15 points leads their scoring. Now they're on the attack again as the ball comes back from the halfway line. And down the near side here, a couple of them, as a matter of fact. This is Smith to the back line, looks for the cross. A chance in front and a leaping play at the post, again by Hannah Warner. Coming in from the right side, it appeared to be Jalen Hubbard. And right there again to make the play was Hannah Warner. We're 4 minutes into the second half. The Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead. Ball's played to the halfway line. TCU will turn it, bring it back the other way. Hubbard looking to turn it. Played it back to the halfway line. Thomas Stoddard there for TCU. Their head coach again is Eric Bell in his 7th season. Cowgirls with a nice intercept there by Lenhart to the halfway line. Oliver has to run it down and just kicks it back to her keeper. With Woodard coming in on the keeper and a little short deliverance away from Haley inside the 18. Short little passes here. Thomas Stoddard to the halfway line up the near sideline and let that ball run out. It's a Cowgirl throw-in for Claire Ganser with 5 minutes gone in the second half. Oklahoma State, since the 8th minute of the match, has had a 1-0 lead. And that's all they need to win this game. Win or a tie would do it, but a win would be better, get off the losing streak. Deep ball delivered down the ground. TCU to run it down. Rodriguez down there also for the Cowgirls. Back line, and they're going to say this is off of TCU for a Cowgirl goal kick. Player down there with Rodriguez, I believe, was Ryan coming in from the backside. Take that back. It wasn't Ryan. It was and Maddie Warren. That's who it was. Now ball the other way, and Haley Woodard to touch. A couple of headers. She's knocked down, and there's a foul straight on at the 25-yard line by TCU. So the Cowgirls will get a direct kick here if they want to take it, almost straight on to the keeper at about the 27-yard line. Woodard went up for the ball, tried for the header, did get a header, knocking the ball down, but then she got knocked down from behind. See if Rodriguez makes the delivery here for Oklahoma State. A three-man line at about the 20-yard line set by our official, Dimitar Chodorov. Who takes the kick here. The whistle sets the ball for play. Cowgirls haven't done anything yet. Now it's Rodriguez, left-footed boot strong toward the square, and it's going to go wide of the far post. Not a bad look there, and it was a goal kick after that for TCU. So a 1-0 lead for the Cowgirls holds here with 38:30 left in the match. Again, a win or tie, and the Cowgirls are in the Big 12 tournament. The ball delivered down the far sideline. Cowgirls have 5 defenders back. TCU with a lone man at the back line. That's going to go off them for a goal kick. Cowgirls again going from our right to left, with the black uniforms tonight. Goalkeeper Hannah Warner in the fluorescent green top, matching the shoes of Kim Rodriguez. We go back the other way as it's played to the center of the ground. Chance here for TCU, perhaps for the equalizer. Oliver trying to turn it, gets it on the wing toward the back line now, and a nice sweep of the Cowgirls to take it away defensively and send it back up the ground. Back to near the 35-yard line. TCU takes it, brings it back forward the other way. And going from our left to right as they have the ball. Looking to play in front of the 18 there to Oliver. She drives in, gets around a man. Little touch in the squares, kicked away by a defender and back to the halfway line. Word is run down by Ryan, and they'll start over again for the Horned Frogs. 37-15 left. Cowgirls can maintain this lead or tie, and they're in the Big 12 tournament. It's a 1-0 lead. Grace Yoakum with a goal in the 8th minute. Pass to the far wing. They'll play it back outside the 35 and start over again on the offensive end to our right with Thomas Daughter for TCU. On the wing to Hubbard. Hubbard, right side, dribbles across, gets around one man. Now sends it into the square. Rodriguez a touch, but can't clear it. Ball's kept in there by Hill, and now kicked to the sideline. This will go out of bounds for a TCU throw-in. That was a nice play, looked like by Yoakum, to just strike the ball and get it out of trouble. Cowgirls again without Cammie Huddleston tonight, again out with concussion protocol. Danny Greenlee not suited up tonight either because of an injury of the same type on Sunday. Hope to have them back for Sunday of this week. There's a ball that's delivered on a cross, and that'll go off the keeper. They get a corner out of this. Apparently it's off the Cowgirls at the edge of the post on this near side. So a TCU corner kick here for Mackenzie Oliver, it looks like, to the left of the goalkeeper, Hannah Warner. Oliver is a senior out of Cedar Park, Texas, 3-year letter winner, 4-year starter. Here's her corner. Into the 18, a header by TCU. The ball clangs off a defender, and TCU gets the goal on the rebound. That ball looked to hit off the post and a Cowgirl defender. It played straight down into the 6, and TCU gets the equalizer. So it's a 1-1 game, and we'll see who they give the goal to. That was a crowd there. Cowgirls can't let their head get down now. This Just a 1-1 game here. That comes with 35-41 left in the match. Seeing the replay here to see if we can pick the number out of a crowd here. Deliverance came into the square. That ball clanged off a defender and the post. Came straight down off the Cowgirl player and then was knocked in the goal by TCU. So it's a 1-1 game, and now the Cowgirls back on offense. Game even here with still 35 minutes and a half left to go in regulation. So I've not said who the goal was scored by, so we'll pick that up as we can. Here's Hill down the center of the ground as off the kickoff. TCU has it back. Hill delivers it out top. Has it there for Warren. Warren a sliding tackle. Another one for the Cowgirls. They play it into the 18 squares. Taken there by Oliver. Now cleared out to Thomas Dotter outside the 18. Back over here on the wing. Now delivering it in is Smith on the dribble. Looks for the cross. Hits off a Cowgirl player. And it's Hahn who sends it back up the ground the other way, or that was Rodriguez. I think that's who that was. Now a chance here coming in from the right side, and it's kicked out across the back line by Bright for a goal kick. TCU with the equalizer in a 1-1 game. In a tie, the Cowgirls would go to the Big 12 tournament. They would have points. Right now they're sitting point-wise 3 ahead of Iowa State. The only way Iowa State goes if the Cowgirls lose and Iowa State wins at home against Kansas State. Any other combination, and OSU goes. All to the sideline, out of bounds for a TCU throw-in to the left of the halfway line with 34 minutes left in the match. TCU with the equalizer in a 1-1 game. Spun around there. Jones off a loose ball, takes it halfway line. Cowgirls go back on offense for the first time in a while. Here's Jokum down the center of the ground and played off the ball by TCU. They intercept and bring it back the other way, going from left to right. Up the near sideline, the ball dribbled across the halfway line by Tara Smith. Both teams, for the most part, have their starters in there. Cowgirls have Haley Woodard here in the second half. They played her 20 minutes in the first half tonight. First time in 2 weeks. They have missed her, Big 12 player. TCU a control at the halfway line. This is Smith up the near sideline. Smith trying to split 2 defenders. Instead plays it off to the top of the 18. They turn it there, try to punch it into the square, and they have Warren in there. Cowgirls look to clear it. Warren got tangled up in a crowd. No foul. TCU keeps the ball. Now a blast into the square is blocked way out high by the Cowgirls, I believe by Oklahoma State's Neville, and back the other way they come. Oklahoma State in black going from right to left into the forward end. Have a player down the ground. TCU has 3 defenders back. They just clear it back to the halfway line where they run it down. It pinballs around off of a Cowgirl player by Smith, and now we get a foul by Oklahoma State. Fouls on Allie Jackson, who's played quite well this year for Oklahoma State. 5'7" freshman out of Allen, Texas. And we knew she was going to get a lot of playing time anyway because she's that good of a player, but she's had to play a whole lot more because of the injuries, especially on the defensive side. Foul here on the Cowgirls means a free kick along this sideline by Hubbard. Right down below us here with 32 minutes left in regulation. The Cowgirls in a 1-1 game with TCU. It was 1-0 Oklahoma State at halftime. There's a deflection by TCU to the halfway line and a throw-in coming up for Oklahoma State. Again, if the Cowgirls win or tie, 11:30 game on Sunday against either Baylor or West Virginia in the first round of the Big 12 in Kansas City. And we'll have it for you right here where you're hearing this game tonight on the radio, 94.3 and AM 780 beginning at 11:15. And that's AM on AM and FM on Sunday morning. Here's a ball by TCU to the sideline. I'm going to say it's a Cowgirl throw-in with 31:20 to go. Jokum with the goal for OSU. They have not announced who the TCU goal was for. We'll find out here in a minute. Meanwhile, it's Jones up the ground to Jokum in the forward end, playing here top of the 18. They send it over to the far side. That's too strong for Neville coming in from the backside. It's a throw-in for TCU at their 6-yard line. One problem that the Horned Frogs have had tonight in getting the ball out of their own end. When they do, they get it down the ground very quickly. They don't usually get pinched back here where the Cowgirls could take it away and try to score very quickly. Use sharp passes to get the ball to open ground, and that's what they're doing here to get out of trouble. I like running the ball from the shadow of your goalpost in football, giving yourself some breathing space. TCU on a throw-in now on the near sideline. 30-20 left. Oklahoma State with a 1-1 game here. TCU has tied it up. That occurred about 10 minutes into the second half. Tie doesn't really help TCU. It helps Oklahoma State. TCU again could finish as high as third, depending on what everybody else does, if they win. Right now it's just a tie with 29:50 to go. TCU on offense going back to our right. Trying to square it up top of the 18. This is Oliver. And a ball delivered deep across the back line, far right of the keeper, and it belongs to OSU on a goal kick. Don't forget, walk around tomorrow night for homecoming. Homecoming in hoops tomorrow night, right at 9. Game at 7 p.m., 7:12 to be exact, on Saturday night. Now a Cowgirl down as Jones is fouled to the right of the halfway line by Thomas Dotter, and the Cowgirls have a free kick just outside the circle with 29:15 to go. Neither team has substituted more than 3 players. TCU has a number of players not here tonight also. Cowgirls have a number of players here, but not being able to play. Man, here's a deliverance on a one-hopper to the keeper from past the halfway line. Big boot there by OSU to give them a free kick. TCU back the other way as they bring it to the halfway line. And they play it to Oliver, center of the ground. Now Cowgirls a loose ball, run it down in front of the official. The TCU is there to take it. And here come the Horned Frogs in the offensive end to our right. And a ball that skips past and behind Hubbard on the near sideline. The Cowgirls get a throw in. They look for a play over here to get the ball to the outside. Taylor Olson has checked in for Oklahoma State again, as Haley Woodard will go out. That's kind of the substitution tonight here for Oklahoma State. Olson herself had been hurt a couple of 3 weeks ago as well, but she got back very quickly compared to some of the others. Marla Zoller is still out. They have her back for Kansas City if they get there. Thomas Dowder plays Jones off the ball, who was bringing it in toward the 18-yard line. And it's played back the other way by TCU. And White going from our left to right. There's a nice deliverance down the ground, deflected by Oklahoma State, and kicked back the other way by Rodriguez to the halfway line. A couple of bounces, and Tara Smith runs it down. Now it's taken there by Hubbard, and now Smith, and Hubbard trying to bring it forward. 27:30 left. Just joined us, or if you were gone for a little bit, TCU got the equalizer. 35:41 left, and it's a 1-1 game. Cowgirls scored in the 8th minute of the first half. Trying to get something started here. TCU runs it down the halfway line, though. Cache Liu, one of the great names in this league this year. She's been a 4-year player for Coach Bell, defender for the Horned Frogs, out of Ontario, Canada. And they bring it back the other way up the near sideline here with Hubbard, the offensive end to our right. Too strong down the ground. That ball will go past Warren across the back line for a goal kick. Clock down to 26:40 left in the match. And we'll try to get scores of other games here. We come up to the halfway point here in about 3 or 4 minutes of other games around the league. West Virginia and Kansas should be a final by now, I would think. That game started an hour earlier than the rest of them. And Kansas came into the night 4-4 in the league at 12 points. They had a chance to finish as high as 4th. Ball out of bounds here off of Jackson. No, I take that back. It's off of Hubbard. And a throw in here for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls try to head it forward. TCU sends it back the other way. Jackson, a loose ball, runs it down. Sent forward by TCU and now run down by Saragusa for the Cowgirls, who plays it the other way. Tries to get it between three defenders, and they intercept. One number 3 kicks it to the other, and Lou takes it back the other way. Out the far sideline is Ryan over there on the far side. 25:40 to go. A 1-1 game, Oklahoma State and TCU. Back the other way, it comes to Smith up the near sideline in front of us here. Smith looks to try to center it. Cowgirls clear it back past the halfway line. And a nice touch there, and intercepted by Yoakum at the halfway. Yoakum up the ground to Linhart. Has a wingman coming over on the far side. Neville, they get it back over to Linhart on the wing far side. Looks for the cross. That'll go behind the goal square and behind the net. And that'll be a goal kick for TCU. Sub here for TCU as they bring Danielle Eiley. It's spelled E-U-L-E. It's pronounced Eiley. And I want to thank Randy Davidson of our sports information staff for making sure I didn't screw that name up. She is out of Lutz, Florida. She's a senior. Played at East Carolina before coming to TCU. So her second year with the Horned Frogs. Coming up on 24 minutes left in regulation. Second half action here in Stillwater. 1-1 game, Oklahoma State and TCU. And again, the Cowgirls win or tie. They go to the Big 12 championship first round in Kansas City. Out of bounds for a Cowgirl throw-in on the other side of the field. Been a pretty clean game. There were just 7 fouls in the first half. Maybe half that many here in the second half. 4 maybe. Touched by Yoakum, brings it down the ground. She's taken off her feet. A sliding tackle by TCU and a good play by the Horned Frogs to take her off the ball, and it comes back the other way. That ball played to the halfway line as they bring it back up the ground. Right. Can't turn it. Now they'll start over with the defenders. 23:40 to go as they send it across on a pass to Hubbard here at the halfway line. TCU and White going to our right. Rodriguez immediately picks up Oliver. The Cowgirls get the ball back. Rodriguez sends it deep down the ground. Too many defenders down there for TCU, and a defender throws an elbow. Wow, they're going to call a foul on Oklahoma State. The crowd's not going to like that call on Taylor Olson, as it looked like Jalen Hubbard initiated the first contact. Well, it's what the official sees and not necessarily what we see. He's closer to it than we are by a long ways. Coming up on the halfway point of the second half here. All out of bounds again, far sideline, and OSU will have a throw-in. But first, a sub here. As Hannah Webb checks back in for Oklahoma State. She played just 8 minutes in the first half. Chance here maybe to play a lot in this second half here. Cowgirls will make the sub and bring a player out. That appears to be Grace Neville, and it is over here on the sideline. Halfway through the second half, and the Cowgirls are at 1-1 here with TCU. We have scores and other games coming up here in just a moment as well. Oh, Cowgirl player down, and a foul on TCU. J.C. Jones pops right back up, and OSU will have a free kick here. No official talking to here to the player who was involved on the foul on the side right, but no card. Kayla Hill's already had a yellow card tonight for TCU. You get 2, you're out and have to miss the next game also. Deliverance into the square. Thomas Stoddard with a lockout for TCU. Now pinball's out, and they just kick it back up the ground. And that ball goes out at the halfway line, and it'll be a throw-in for Oklahoma State, who's getting ready to sub here again. And I think it's Rachel Van Fossen who's checking back in. And also back in for them is Tyler Christensen for TCU. And Fossen was, unfortunately, the only senior who got to dress for senior day. And Royal had been out most of the year, and Dollar, of course, and Haley Woodard were hurt. Throwing in for the Cowgirls up the ground to the area in front of Coach Carmichael here to our left. Ball's played forward. Cowgirls with a chance back line. There's a cross, but it's going to go into the goal net. And that'll be a goal kick for TCU. 21-18 to go. The Cowgirls in a 1-1 game here. And again, a tie or a win by Oklahoma State, and they are in the Big 12 championships on Sunday morning at 11:30 in Kansas City. Back up the ground. It's taken by TCU at the halfway line. They send it deep forward. 1-on-3. Cowgirls with Rodriguez to clear it back out of the square. And trying to turn it and sweep it forward. They do. Saragusa kicks it out of bounds, and it belongs to TCU. 20:45 left in the match. Getting our updates here on numbers in just a second. Scores of other games here coming up. Well, West Virginia has lost tonight to Kansas. That final in overtime was 1-0. How about that? Give you other scores here in a second. Meanwhile, TCU with the ball, trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. A shot, that one goes wide of the post. And also the keeper, a diving play to her left by Warner. Baylor leads OU 1-0 in the 71st minute. Iowa State 1-0 over Kansas State. 75th minute. Texas and Texas Tech, 70th minute, are scoreless. And again, Kansas beats West Virginia. So if Baylor holds on to win, they're the conference champ. West Virginia is second. And it'll be Baylor in round one if the Cowgirls can win or tie this game in Kansas City on Sunday. Shots by period, 6-3, TCU 9. The Cowgirls 4-1 for 5. Cowgirls have been held to just one shot here in the second half. And it was Kayla Hill on the goal, her 6th of the year from Oliver and Thomasdotter. A header off the post. Rebound was tapped in, and that was the goal. So Kayla Hill at 54-21. That was TCU's equalizer, trying for the lead here now as they bring it forward with 19:20 to go. Chance in the box, a shot, keeper out of the box, and a score for TCU. The defender there in front was Rodriguez. She fell down, and a blast out front, and the score is now a 2-1 lead. And that goal was by Christensen. That is her first goal of the year. Christensen with the goal. See if they give an assist on the play. She was open in front. It's a 2-1 TCU lead. Now the Cowgirls have to play for the tie with 19:14 to go. Well, this game has turned on its ear here in the last 20 minutes. Now the Cowgirls are behind for the first time tonight. And again, this is a quality TCU team. And now outshot the Cowgirls 10-5 and 4-1 here in the second half. Under 19 to play now as the Cowgirls trail 2-1. If the Cowgirls lose and Iowa State wins, and Iowa State's up 1-0 about the 80th minute of that match, then Iowa State will go to the tournament. Cowgirls will stay home. I'm here for Oklahoma State. Who came in for them here. I get the number. We'll pick that up here in a second. Meanwhile, the Cowgirls trailing 2-1 have the ball on the far side. Try to bring it forward. TCU intercepts. Played to the halfway line. Oh, Cowgirls send the deliverance back to the near side. They have to run it down. This is Webb here on the near side on defense. Sends it forward. Right along the sideline. That ball out of bounds. TCU will have a throw-in. Good to see Woodard and Webb back tonight after the injuries of a couple of weeks ago. Webb went down late in that Baylor game. Woodard went down the 17th minute. TCU waiting the throw in here to our left. 17:30 to go, and they can take their time now. That was a header by TCU's Bright. Sub here for Cowgirls is Woodard, and Jones check back in. Jones had gone out a little bit ago. Under 17 minutes left. Cowgirls trying for the equalizer. That's why Woodard's back in the game. Going through traffic. Jones trying to set it up front. TCU just clears it back to the halfway line. Cowgirl defender will take it there and play it the other way. Might have been Hallie Hossman who checked in, a freshman. I'm not sure. I'll have to get the numbers. Backline play, and it'll be off of Cowgirls for a TCU goal kick. Scoreboard says 2-1 in favor of the Horned Frogs. If the Cowgirls lose and Iowa State wins, and Iowa State was ahead in the second half against K-State at home 1-0, Iowa State and the Cowgirls end up tied. And that for record, Iowa State head-to-head would have the tiebreaker. Cowgirls, again, must win or tie to go to the Big 12. Or, if K-State comes back and beats them, Cowgirls lose, and Cowgirls would still go. Way to the near sideline, swept out by Oklahoma State. It's going to be a TCU throw-in with 16 minutes left in the match. Goals in the second half here by Hill and by Christensen. Going for the Cowgirls along this near sideline. Jones trying to leap by a man, taken back by Rodriguez at the halfway line. Now to Yoakum. She's able to turn it, bring it forward. Yoakum delivers it toward Woodard. Far side, a chance. That ball is deflected, and we get a foul here, I believe, on Haley Woodard. The ball got deflected out by a defender for TCU, and Woodard is called for the foul outside the 6-yard square. So it'll be a free kick inside the 18 square for the TCU goalkeeper, Emily Alvaredo. 15 minutes left in the match. Here's her kick. The halfway line, a backside header by Woodard. Now another one by TCU. Ball back the other way. Cowgirls, if they do not win tonight, do not make the Big 12 tournament unless Iowa State loses too. And the other thing is, even with your RPI, the committee looks at your body of work and probably will not make the NCAA tournament. So you need the equalizer here to improve your lot. Again, a win by Iowa State and a tie by the Cowgirls. The Cowgirls still go to the Big 12 tournament. Play in front here for Woodard outside the 18. Can't control the touch. Now it's brought down by Lenhart. Left-footed kick into the square. TCU has defenders back. They'll just kick that ball. They'll just take it back to the keeper. 14:20 left in the game. And Alvaredo again will punt it from the 18-yard line. No wind tonight. All delivered past the halfway line. Cowgirls look to turn it, bring it ahead. This is Webb off a nice touch at the other end by Siragusa. And then Yoakum is brought down on the near sideline here, and a foul. This will be on TCU on Eiley. So this will be about 15 yards to the left of the halfway line. Delivered by Rodriguez. Angles to the right from the near hash in football. Here is the kick. Delivered to the far side of the 6. Cowgirls a chance, and they score! Cowgirls tie the match. It is a 2-2 game. That might have been Van Fossen coming in from the backside. And for Rachel Van Fossen, the goal ties the game up here with 13:30 to go. Well, it's been a goal fest here. Allie Jackson got the assist. Jackson's first. Van Fossen's first goal of the year. That comes with 13:36 left in the match. So we're even at 2, so it is a brand new game here in Stillwater. We've had 3 goals in the second half. 2 by TCU, 1 by the Cowgirls to even it up. Now, keep in mind, there's still lots of time for either team to get the game winner and send us out in regulation. TCU off the kickoff, send it back to the halfway line, and they'll start the offense over going from left to right. That goal just ties the game, but it's a big one to get you to that point. Now here in the corner is Eiley again, looking for the cross, deflected out by the Cowgirls, and TCU will have the throw-in. 13 minutes left in regulation. If we go to overtime, we'll have a 10-minute sudden death golden goal situation. If nobody scores, we'll have another one, and then if nobody scores, the game is over. It's a tie. We got to get there first. Here's a bounce in the square. TCU with a chance. It's deflected to the far sideline offensively by the Horned Frogs. Cowgirls sweep it back to the halfway line and start over. Thomas Stoddard, as the Cowgirls send it ahead for their offense. Too strong. TCU going back left to right. 12:20 to go. Tied at 2 here. TCU and OSU. Maybe the best conference game of the year for the Cowgirls since the Texas game 3 weeks ago. That's where all this injury nonsense started, at least in the second half of the schedule. Here's a back line cross by Hubbard. Cleared out for the Cowgirls for a moment. Now Yoakum trying to send it back up the ground does and finds Jones right here below us. Casey going the wrong way. Now back to Yoakum, who pops it in the air down the sideline. That goes out of bounds into the Cowgirl bench. And a throw in for TCU with 11:50 to go. Ganser back in for the Cowgirls. And back in for TCU is Mackenzie Oliver, who got their first goal of the match in this second half. So it's a 2-2 game. 11.5 to play. Hubbard on the inbounds along the near sideline. A header by Yoakum. She heads it again, but she's out of bounds, and TCU will have the throw-in. Clock doesn't stop, by the way, on an out-of-bounds play, unless there's a penalty. Card or something like that. Cowgirls clear it. Jones to the far wing. Siragusa to the forward end for Woodard. She's going the wrong way at the moment at the halfway line. Sends it back to Rodriguez, and they'll start the play over. Deep ball Rodriguez all the way down to the 18-yard line. Woodard streaks down to get it, but keeper beats it to it by 10 yards. And Alvarado looking for somebody to, well, she's just going to punt it away here. High kick to the halfway line, way up in the air. A header by the Cowgirls by Jackson. That's by TCU, another one. And now Woodard with a touch at the offensive end. Goes back to Yoakum, who overruns the ball and then goes back and gets it. Now the Cowgirls a chance down the ground. Woodard trying to get around her man, who sends the ball to the back line. And that's off of Oklahoma State. It'll be a goal kick here for TCU with 10:21 to go. Again, a tie helps Oklahoma State. A tie really doesn't help TCU as far as the conference standings are concerned, but a win would. A win would put the Cowgirls on the outside looking in, most likely. There's a deep ball by TCU to the back line, far right corner, or left corner rather, far side of the field. We drop under 10 minutes to go with a Cowgirl goal kick tied at 2. It's every bit the game we thought it would be. Header by Yoakum at the halfway line off the kick by the keeper Warner. TCU trying to run it down on open ground. They find Eiley here on the near side. Ball is to the corner. Right along the corner, kicked out by Oklahoma State in front of Warren. And the throw-in at the 18-yard line with 9.5 to go. This is Eiley again. He'll take the throw-in, goes back to Hubbard to her left. Hubbard tries to center it, gets it into Hill. We'll give and go with Hill and Eiley. Hill to the back line, cleared away by the Cowgirls. Thomas Stoddard to the halfway line, plays it back for TCU, going to our right. On the attack, they come in from the left side this time. But for the play outside of the 18, the ball's deflected into open ground. Yoakum's there, but the ball deflects back toward the goal square. TCU with a touch and now another outside the square to our right. And they get into the square, chance, and a shot from the 16-yard line straight on to the keeper by TCU. Chance again taken in front by Kayla Hill, who had the goal earlier. She has 6 on the year. Tied with Maddie Warren now for the team lead. 8:20 to go in the match. Tied at 2. In a winner tie by the Cowgirls, they're in the Big 12 tournament and maybe in the NCAA tournament. RPI is that good despite the losing streak. Here's a blast from 35. That's deflected by the Cowgirls off the foot of Ryan or TCU. They take the high ball bounce and take the deflection back down and try to turn it at the top of the 18. They're going the wrong way. Has to go back out to about the 40 and start over again. Under 8 to play now in regulation, tied here at 2. Again, we'll go to overtime as we have no score further in this game. Chance out front for Warren, gets around a man, comes in from the left side, shoots, a diving play off the keeper, and a rebound and a score for TCU. Warren came in from the left side, the ball hit off of the keeper, off of her hands, it came back out front, and the deflection went in, and I'm not sure it wasn't Bright who got the goal. If it's Messiah Bright who got the goal, it gives them a 3-2 lead. It'd be her 5th of the year. And it is. And Fossen, who had gone out, is back in for Oklahoma State. So it's a 3-2 game with 7:40 to go, 7:41 to go. And the goal by Bright, number 5 on the year for TCU, gives them the lead at 3-2. We have had 4 goals in the second half. There have been a lot of games here in October where we haven't seen 4 goals by both teams in a game. We've had 5 tonight. TCU will sub in another player here, and this is Tara Smith, the midfielder, one of their starters, who checks in for Oliver, who goes out. So the Cowgirls playing uphill again here with 7:40 to go, and the clock is not restarted for some reason. Clock has not restarted. There's a scoreboard clock issue. It is not running at the moment. Well, they're working on it. Now the clock is restarted. Well, Cowgirls got an extra 10 seconds there. Taken away by Bright. And now a whistle, and they keep the time down on the field, and I wonder if they're going to reset it. No, it's a foul on Oklahoma State. Clock is running. It doesn't really matter now with 7:20 to go in the game. Well, did it come down to a late second goal? 10 extra seconds did not roll off the clock a moment ago. TCU, though, would like to get one more and maybe put this game away. That piece in the top of the 35-yard line comes to the near side to Smith. Tries to play it back outside again to the area where Hill is, and out of Thomas Dotter over on the far wing. Get it over there to Eiley. 6:48 to go. TCU with a win, and depending on what everybody else does, could finish as high as 3rd in this league. All back to the keeper, and Alvarado will punt it away, actually kick it off the ground the other way in front of Woodard to the halfway line with 6.5 to go. Ball by the Cowgirls sent the other way. That gets at the 18 square and bounces into the 6. Woodard will run down, make the keeper pick it up. All that does is take more time off the clock without touching the ball, and now Alvarado will kick it away. And again, all this legitimate for TCU. They can take their time here with 6:15 to go and a 3-2 lead. Yeah, if the Cowgirls lose, they have to hope that Iowa State ties or loses to go to the Big 12 tournament. We'll know that in 6 minutes if they don't tie it up. Under 6 to play now. Cowgirls on the attack. TCU has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players past the halfway line. Now they send it down the ground. They have a man coming in 1-on-3. Cowgirls get defense, so they'll block her out and take the ball away. That was Bright who got the goal a moment ago. That could be the game winner. 5.5 to play.
Fuzzy's Taco Shop on the Strip in Stillwater is the official home of the Coach Colin Carmichael Show. Join us every Tuesday this fall to meet Coach Carmichael and discuss all things Cowgirl Soccer as they fight for the Big 12 title. All game days start at Fuzzy's with its casual, fun atmosphere, Baja-style Mexican food, and ice-cold beer on the patio. Feed your addiction at Fuzzy's, proud sponsor of Cowgirl Soccer. Be sure to like us on Facebook.
All right, we're back here in Stillwater. We apologize for the technical problems. I guess my phone doesn't like being on more than 3 hours. But anyway, it's still 3-2. You haven't missed anything. 4 minutes to go in the match. And the Cowgirls trailing by a goal here as TCU comes down the ground. They look to set up a set play. Again, this is player coming in bright from the side, and a dribbler to the keeper is taken inside the box. There at the 6-yard square by Hannah Warner. Quickly the other way for the Cowgirls as they try to get the equalizer here to save their season and force this game to go to overtime. It's a 3-2 Texas Christian lead here, and goals here in the second half. 3 of them by Hill, Christensen, and Bright for them, and then Rachel Van Fossen with the goal that tied the game after it was a 2-1 TCU lead. And now 3:28 to go in the game. The last goal coming with 7:14 left. Cowgirls trying to get something going here. They had a play down the near sideline as we went off a moment ago. It looked like it was a foul on TCU, but in fact ended up going the other way for them, and the Cowgirls got called for the foul. That's what all the ruckus was there as we went off a moment ago. Down to 3 minutes to go in the game. Oklahoma State, again, trailing 3-2, and the Cowgirls have to win or tie or hope that if they lose, Iowa State loses to go to the Big 12 championship. We'll have all the scores on all the other games when we get done here. Iowa State was leading K-State late 1-0. Down to 2:40 to go in the match. Ball's taken by Rodriguez at the halfway line. She tries to send it forward. Now the ball played back. Warner will try to run it down to the Cowgirls and just kick it up the sideline and out of bounds. And he was down there with 2 other defenders, wanted to make sure TCU had 2 players back. They didn't get back to the ball offensively. That's a dangerous play if the keeper stumbles or something happens, because then the goal is wide open if you lose the possession. Cowgirls looking to turn it and play it forward. Thomas Stoddard with 2:10 to go in the game, trailing 3-2 here. And the ball to the sideline. It goes out of bounds. This will be a throw-in for Texas Christian University. And we'll recap all this. 2 minutes to go in the game, and probably in the Cowgirl season, if they don't get the equalizer, a header goes out. Cowgirl ball will go out of bounds. Throw in here for TCU. 1:45 to go in the game. You can't say nothing about the effort here for Oklahoma State. This has been some game with a depleted group, and a stoppage in play here on the clock with 1:34 to go, as we have a dangerous play foul here on TCU. So the Cowgirls will get the ball on a free kick just to the right of the halfway line. And Kim Rodriguez will kick it away with 1:34 to go in the match. And the explanation on the foul being given here to Eric Bell down on the sideline. So Rodriguez has not struck the ball yet. They're now taking the official going back the other way to set everybody for play here. Rodriguez can kick this ball deep, and let's see what she does. She delivers it into the 18 square. Header by TCU the other way with 1.5 to go. Cowgirls run it down. They start over. Ball's punched back into the 18 square again. Header by TCU. Cowgirls trying to knock it down, and now they finally do. Here's a chance for a play on by Ganser. The ball's deflected, and now a second chance goes over the crossbar and into the Orange Outlaws in the end zone over there. But we have a TCU player down, so stop the clock here with 1:09 to go in the match, and player down at the 18-yard line for them. I believe that's Tara Smith, who was in on the first chance by Ganser and may have blocked the ball off of her head, and she appears to be okay. So a 3-2 game with 1:09 left in the Cowgirls season, unless K-State rallied against Iowa State, which we don't know at the moment. The goal kick for TCU here as the clock will restart on the touch by Alvarado to the halfway line. Way up in the air by the Cowgirls, a backward kick by TCU. And a chance for Bright trying to run it down. 1 minute left in the game as Rodriguez sends it high up in the air. Now TCU plays it back to Bright, back toward the far corner. 50 seconds to go. They have a 3-2 lead on the ball to the back line. And that ball's still in. And the Cowgirls get it out of trouble. Nice play to clear it back and maybe one more shot. But it goes out of bounds, and TCU has a throw-in at the halfway line with 30 seconds left in the Cowgirl season. And the only way the Cowgirls can go if they lose this game is if Iowa State ties or loses. 25 seconds left. Rodriguez in open ground. Sends it past the halfway line. And past Rodriguez, Woodard, they want a foul. Cowgirls run it down. No fouls called. 15 seconds left. Touched by TCU by Maddie Warren. They kick it deep the other way, and that's going to be it. TCU's going to roll out of here with a 3-2 victory here against Oklahoma State. And again, they can finish as high as third. The Cowgirls season is likely over with a loss here tonight. Post game's coming up. This is Cowgirl Soccer from Learfield.
Fuzzy's Taco Shop on the Strip in Stillwater is the official home of the Coach Colin Carmichael Show. Join us every Tuesday this fall to meet Coach Carmichael and discuss all things Cowgirl Soccer as they fight for the Big 12 title. All game days start at Fuzzy's with its casual, fun atmosphere, Baja-style Mexican food, and ice-cold beer on the patio. Feed your addiction at Fuzzy's, proud sponsor of Cowgirl Soccer. Be sure to like us on Facebook and download our app for awesome deals.
Chris's University Spirit on Campus Corner in Stillwater, Oklahoma is proud to be your one-stop Cowboy shop since 1986 and proud sponsor of Cowboy Athletics. Be sure to come see us at 3rd and Knobloch and sign up for a chance to win tickets to an OSU sporting event with VIP treatment. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and remember, you can always shop online at chrisuniversityspirit.com. Go Pokes!
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Pregnancy can be an exciting time in your life and an anxious one. At Mercy, helping you get ready for a healthy, happy baby is our life's work. Download our free Baby on the Way guide at mercy.net/OSUbaby. It includes month-by-month plans for prenatal care, home safety, choosing your baby's doctor, and more. Download your free Baby on the Way guide at mercy.net/OSUbaby.